How to wholesale real estate in 2025 and how to get that very first wholesale deal. What's up YouTube, Biz Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you all step by step for a beginner how to wholesale real estate. And the good thing about this video is that when we're at this step, I'm going to actually drill into my computer. I'm going to show you that step. I'm going to share my screen with you all. And I know for me, when I was learning real estate investing, wholesaling, a video like this would have been super helpful. So please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. I have made videos on this channel before on each step, so if you want a guide or something, just drill through my channel. If you want to look up cash buyers, how to find cash buyers, just search cash buyers on my channel and you'll find a ton of videos on that. But this is going to be one big video, the ultimate guide to wholesaling in 2025. I've taken into account 2025 and home prices and where we're at as an economy. And so I think this video will be super helpful for you all. So please take notes. I'm going to say step one, okay? Write step one and actually write it down, learn it, and actually go implement what I'm teaching in this video. It's good to just watch, but it's better to actually implement and to put yourself out there, do the hard work and make mistakes and experience this. Now, step number one is to find your market/zip code. Finding your market is super important. My recommendation, especially for beginners, is to start in your backyard, to start in the area around where you live. Or if you live in a big city and you know it's just going to be super hard for you, look at the surrounding smaller cities near that city. You can also do all these steps virtually. Most of the things I'm doing online, right? I'm doing research, I'm sending out mailers, or I'm doing cold calling. All of this is doing it from my house. So every step that I'm talking about, you can do it virtually. Finding your market. You need to find a market that is up and coming, that a lot of investors go into, so you can send them deals, whether they're wholesaling, whether they are flipping or holding rentals or whatever they're doing. And so it's good to look at data with home sales. And so now I'm going to drill into my computer and show you how to find the best markets in 2025 for wholesale real estate. I'm at this website called mapszipcode.com. And what I like to do is I like to browse by state. And so let's say I'm in North Carolina. I actually did a video a couple months ago about this. So I just want to fit everything in this video. So I'm going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, and these are all the zip codes that are in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you know, Charlotte is a good city to invest in real estate, and it's going to keep on growing, even though it's probably already priced out, but you can still find some deals. You don't have to be right in the city. You can be in the surrounding areas to really make good money. And so what I would do is I would kind of look at the population size. Like this is the high one with 42,000. This is a high one with 54,000, 47 right here. We have 59. This may be the highest one so far. There are 72 right here. And so I would look at some higher population ones, and then I'll just pick some zip codes. Or if you have the time, I'll go through most of these zip codes and I'll check the population, the home sales, and I'll also check the median price in those cities. So I made a Google Excel sheet right here. I did a zip code, did the population, did the median sale price, and I did the cash sales. And I did the ratio of cash sales to population. Probably a better metric is to do the cash sales by the number of homes that were sold. Now zip code, I showed you all how to find the zip code and population. They're both on that website. Median sale price, you can type that into Zillow. But one software I love to use in my real estate business, especially wholesaling, is PropStream. PropStream, you find all of this data and it helps you find off-market deals. So if you're interested in PropStream, use my link down below and you get a 7 free day trial. Use my link. So please be sure to use PropStream. So for example, the way I found this information, I typed in this zip code into PropStream. Now I will show you all how to do this without using PropStream, but it's just better. So PropStream, here it is. They have information right here. They have the stats here. They have home for sale. They have home sold, even though it says 0 right now. I don't know why that is. And then you could change it from last 90 days right here, and then you see homes sold. And so I usually like to do last 6 months. So you see the average sale price right here that I found. Now this thing I did a while back, maybe 8-9 months ago. So the median sale price for the past 6 months, I think I did a 6 month. It was $374. Now it's still $374. So it's still around that price. Let me see, last year is different, 371. So yeah, 374, and then average days on market is 85. So this is good information to know which market you're choosing, because you want to see a market that has a lot of cash deals, because that tells you that a lot of investors are there. They will be quick to buy your deals, right? Because they like that area and they like to invest. Now, I also like to look at the average sell price, because I like to look at how expensive this market is. Because yes, you can wholesale $1 million houses, but do you really want to do that? So it can be more daunting for a beginner. And the cash sales, the way I looked it up is I actually did a filter. I made sure, for example, they were owned within the past year. So last sell date, let's say July 1st. That's the last sell date. And then I want to do valuation and equity, estimated equity 100%, and exclude that. And so I can kind of see right now that shows up on the thing is 137 properties that were sold within the last 6 months. The equity is the total value of it. So you see there's no estimated loan balance on it. These were cash deals. And so you know this zip code is a hot market. So that's the first step, is to do this research and make sure you find hot market and a hot zip code. Now, the second step to wholesale real estate is to now get leads for that zip code or for that market. Leads are essentially the type of property that you want to market to, or the person that you're cold calling, or the person that you're sending a mailer to, or the person you're sending a text to or a voicemail to. That's your lead. And so the way you find leads is, once again, I like to use PropStream. And just briefly going back to the other first step of finding a hot market, I want to show you how you can do this on Zillow. So I actually put in that zip code, I looked at sold, and what you can do is you can go through the pictures and you can see if they recently renovated properties. Like this property looks recently renovated of some sort. And so you can use this as a data point. Now the thing is, you don't know if this was a cash sell or not, but you can look at renovated properties to see if it's actually an active market there. That's the good thing about PropStream, is that you really get that data. But yeah, the second step is to send marketing to these people, because you need to reach out to people in this market. The way you do that is that we're going to go back here and we're going to clear the filter, and what we're going to do, we're going to find criterias, different distress markers, to find a homeowner that would be more interested to sell than other ones. Obviously, you're looking for off-market deals, so if they're on the market, I go down here to MLS and I put no, not on the market. Okay, so we're not targeting any properties that aren't on the market. The next thing is like the owner information. You can target corporate, because there are some small LLCs that have homes for sale, but I'm going to just click individual for right now. The next thing is valuation and equity, and I wanted to have at least a 50% equity, because I want this to be a cash deal. I want them to have some equity in order for me to market to, so I can make money too. And the other thing is that I want them to own the property for a little bit. I don't want this to be a new property that they just owned. Let me see, I believe it's right here. Owner information, last sell date. I want it to be at least years of ownership. Here it is, at least 10 years. Or you can even put your own, you can put 7. I just want it to be pre-pandemic, so I'll put just 7 years here. All right, and this is a great list. So these are properties that have equity. They owned it for a while. Now, another thing that you can do here is you can look for non-owner occupied properties. And so down here, we go down here to owner information. I'm going to make sure it's not occupied by the owner. So essentially they're vacant properties. And so there's only 43 here. So let's just keep any for right now. And yeah, this is a list that you can target. What you can do is you can put non-owner occupied properties that for whatever reason they're either rentals or they're vacant properties. And so you have a list of 1,300 properties that you can target in this zip code. This is not the whole city of Charlotte, by the way. And so this is a great list that you can target. So that's step 2, is to find your leads. There are free ways to find leads. You can go on Zillow and look for sale by owners. You can just connect with other wholesalers. You can work with another wholesaler. You can look on Facebook Marketplace sometimes. You can just tell people, hey, do you know anybody interested in selling, and things of that nature. And so those are other free ways to do that. But if you want to get the most bang for your buck and actually implement systems in your business, you have to have a software like this. Yeah, starting wholesaling is relatively cheap compared to buying a rental where you have to put 20% down, but there's some costs associated associated with it. So once again, if you're interested in prospering, check my link down below. But from here, you have to decide how you're going to market. So that's step 3. So step 1 was find the market or zip code. Step 2 was to find leads essentially. And then step 3 is to market these leads. You have to choose what type of marketing you want. You want to cold call, you want to send mailers. What do you want to do? I like to send mailers. So one thing that you can do here on Prospering, you can click this and you can add to a list and create a new list. And you can name this like the zip code 28205 high equity list, non-owner occupied, something like that. And then from there, it's going to save right here on my properties. And then from there, you can go to campaigns. Now, campaigns is where you can actually send a postcard. By the way, you all, this is a template of like a postcard I use. It's nice, simple, yellow, black writing, red writing. I make it super simple. And then you can go from there. But if you want to cold call, the good thing about PropStream, once again, you can skip trace. So you can go here to skip trace and they charge 10 cents for skip tracing. That's industry standards around that price. And so that list of around 1,300, that would cost you $130 to get their phone numbers, and then you can just hop on the call and actually call them. Now that step, it's a little bit more intensive. I have videos on my channel. Just put in Dialer, like DIALER, and you can find different videos on how to get the skip tracing list and then upload it to these dialer systems and then cold call. Or you can just use your phone number if you want to, but eventually if people are just keep ignoring your calls, your call is going to show up as a scam call on most cell phones. So you probably don't want to use your personal cell. But those are 2 different options, cold call and send mailers or texting. And so that's your third, is to market to that list. Now, your fourth, and you can actually start this before everything, is to find cash buyers. How do you find cash buyers? One thing that you can do is actually going back to Zillow, looking at these sold homes. You can look at, for example, if this house was flipped, what I would do is that I would contact the owner. I would look up my county's page. So Charlotte, they have an assessor or property search page on their county's website where you can find information about a property owner. And so you can just put in this address, and then from there, they'll give you the information on who owned the property and who did they sell it to. And then from there, you can be like, okay, I noticed they bought this here and then they sold it within 6 months. So you know that's a cash buyer. And you can see that, like, for example, Zillow, you can see if this was a recent one, like a recent flip or something like that. Another thing is I like to just put in renovated as a keyword so you know for sure these were flipped homes. So for example, this was probably a flipped home most likely, because look at, they sold it for $340 and then they listed it for sale for $600. So it was a 10-month turnaround for them. So you know this is a cash buyer who bought this earlier in 2024 and then they sold it later this year. It took them a whole year. I don't know how much they spent on it. I'm just curious. This is very interesting right now. But anyways, that's what happened. And so I would go on Charlotte's County's website and look up who bought the property before this current owner who owns it now. And then I'll contact them and be like, hey, you're a cash buyer. I want to add you on my list so I can send you wholesale deals. What is your buying criteria? What kind of houses are you looking for? Things of that nature. Can you connect me with more cash buyers and just connect with other cash buyers that way? PropStream makes it super easy because honestly, you could just go here once again, clear the filter, and they just have actually lead lists. They have cash buyers lists that you can just look up. That makes it super amazing. And from there, you can skip trace that list, find their phone numbers, call them, or email them, because sometimes skip tracing leaves emails, and then you send them properties that you have. Another free way is to connect with realtors, let them know about the deals that you have. Now, some realtors, you got to be careful. They don't like wholesalers. So you got to find an agent who's wholesaler friendly. You can partner with another wholesaler bigger in town that has a bigger cash buyers list, and you can split the profit 50-50 with them. So yeah, that's the case with that, with finding cash buyers. That would be the fourth step. All right, the fifth step is you're going to have to eventually talk to a seller and meet with the seller and put them under contract, right? Because we talked about finding a market, sending out leads, finding cash buyers. So we've done a lot of research. Now we have probably the hardest part is actually talking to the seller, negotiating, and finding a seller that actually wants to sell their property as is at a discount because the property needs work or they need to move soon. So once again, I have tons of video of cold calling and techniques to use, but once you talk to a seller seller and it needs work, but they want to sell it for cash, then you have to comp. You have to look up how much the property is worth all fixed up, and also what is the property worth right now before all of the renovations. And so once you have that number, that's the number you want to present to the seller minus your wholesale fee. Let's say you want to make $10,000. That's what you do. And so talking to the seller, negotiating and bringing them down to that number, or, just being real with them. Another thing is connect with wholesalers, cash buyers. Like, hey, if you would buy this property, how much would it be? How much would you get this property for? Just curious. Legally you can't really sell them the house. You can only sell the contract essentially, or sign the contract to them for a fee. Once you do that, once you find a seller and you put them under contract, the next step number 6, is to put them to closing. I have videos on wholesale contracts. Please be sure to look that up. And I'm going to actually have a 2025 wholesale real estate contract video this month, so please be on the lookout for that. Essentially, it's a simple one-page cash purchase and sales agreement, and then you need another contract, an assignable contract that you can assign the rights over to a cash buyer. And then once you do that, you put them on a contract, you find a title company that's familiar with double closes or wholesale deals, assigning contracts. Once you find that, you just ask them, can you do this? If they say no, or no, we don't do that, I don't think you should be doing that, just move on. You'll find another title company or an attorney if that works for you, or just ask another wholesalers, ask cash buyers. Once again, go back to those people and ask. Once you do all of that, you have a title company, they schedule up a date so you can close your very first wholesale deal, or to start closing more deals with them, either wire you funds or they write you a check. Maybe for that first time, maybe get a physical check, kind of nice. Those are essentially the steps on how to wholesale real estate in 2025. The thing with 2025 is that prices are higher. Sellers are still wanting to sell their homes higher than what they're actually worth. I think with the pandemic and the rise of home prices, a lot of sellers are still kind of stuck on that. And you're in competition with big corporations that essentially wholesale properties, right? They buy them, they do cheap rehab, and then they sell it. Or they just buy it because they're just going to rent it out and they're just going to hold it forever, right? So they don't care if they're slightly overpaying because they know in 10 years it's going to be double the amount. And so you're competing with those type of people too, and they're professional and things of that nature, and they're actually offering a higher price. So let me know your thoughts on this video. If you all have any questions, please be sure to subscribe, comment down below, and hope this guide was helpful for you all.